What is national interest waiver? How important is it? How can you argue it? It seems extremely daunting. A lot of times when clients ask me, do I qualify? They're like really shy about it. And like, can you give me some examples of what you've done in the past that succeeded? And I sometimes say, I'm afraid that when I tell you, you will see how unimportant a national interest waiver is. But let me explain. So this video is where I explain exactly what USCIS is looking for, at least right now, right? We've done a lot of these over the years, but I want to make a video talking about exactly what it is, how you can qualify, and then we're going to make videos on the previous success cases we've done so you can see exactly if you qualify. Hi everyone, my name is Joseph and I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. The national interest waiver, it is skipping the Department of Labor. It is skipping labor certification. It is skipping the recruiting process. You are basically saying to the government, I am of such importance that I can skip this line, saving maybe a year and a half to 2 years right now because of the long backlog with that process itself. I don't need an employer. I'm applying based on my own merit. What I plan on doing is of national importance. I am well positioned, and on the balance, it's better for me to get this approved without needing for me to wait in line. So first, I want to start out by who should apply for EB-2 NIW. If somebody already filed an EB-2 or EB-3 for you, should you still do EB-2 NIW? If somebody already applied EB-2, EB-3 for you, you are locked in with them. Meaning if they fire you, you might need to start this whole process again with somebody else. And that might take another 2, 3, 4 years. And maybe another company says, no, I don't want to do the sponsorship for you. Or maybe you need to come work for me for H-1B for 3, 4, 5 years first, and then I'll sponsor you, and then it'll take another 2, 3 years. You are subject to other people's whims. Or you're not even in the country yet, or maybe you're still a student, you're a PhD student, you don't know if you qualify for EB-1A, you could do the EB-2 NIW and lock in that priority date. And later on, when time is current, then you can apply and get a green card. You could apply for EB-2 NIW even if you're abroad. We do plenty of EB-2 NIWs for people who are not even in the US with any visa. Right? They are just like engineers overseas. They're talented and they can bring a lot of good to the US. So we skip the entire H-1B process. We skip all of, they're working overseas. They're making a lot of money. And now when the time is ripe, the priority date is current, then they come to the US directly as a green card holder. Next, you can apply for the EB-2 NIW if you want to prepare for the EB-1A. It's a nice stepping stone argument for EB-1A. There's no technical law about it, just like O1 is not a technical stepping stone to an EB-1A. A lot of people get that confused. You think, oh, my O1 is approved. Of course my EB-1A is approved. That's not true. Similarly, EB-2 NIW is approved. Of course EB-1A is approved. No, absolutely not. But does it help? Does it help that another immigration officer already looked through your documents and considered, yes, your work is of national importance? Absolutely, right? So EB-2 NIW could be a stepping stone for EB-1A. The first prong is whether the petitioner's proposed endeavor has substantial merit and national importance. The endeavor's merit may be demonstrated in a range of areas such as business, entrepreneurism, science, technology, culture, health, or education. It's very broad. What USCIS is requesting to look at is a detailed description of a proposed endeavor and why it is of national importance. Has there been national or even global implications in the particular field? Has there been significant potential to employ U.S. workers, or has other substantive impact on economic areas, in particularly economically depressed areas? Will there be broad enhancements of social welfare, cultural or artistic enrichment? And is the impact a matter that a government entity has described as having national importance, or is a subject of national initiatives? How would you make an impact? What are you going to do that is of this scale? Now, you may look at that and be like, there's no way I could do this. Let me just share off the top of my head some of the things that we have done for other clients. A dentist that published an article about a particularly useful technique to solve a particular problem. Nobody else really does it. They know how to do it. An engineer case that worked in major companies, was very capable, and wants to start a company to be a consultant. That worked. You know how many government entities are there? talking about how important their work is, endless amount, right? Every single cabinet, every single department is issuing new directives and memos and initiatives talking about how this is critical to the US. Pick your industry, pick your lane, prove your background, and find a government agency that shows that what you're doing is of critical importance. Cite it and show USCIS, look, you're a sister organization. You're part of the Department of Homeland Security, but your sister organization from the same cabinet is saying this thing is of critical importance as well. This is the memo, this is why, and this, our client, is actually able to solve that particular problem. So that's the first prong. How do you prove your work is of national importance and what USCIS likes to see? The second prong is that you are well positioned to advance the proposed endeavor. USCIS may consider factors including but is not limited to your education, skill, knowledge, and record of success in related or similar efforts. Did you already have a proof of concept, a model, a business plan to show that you're going to do all these things? So your business plan showing that what you're going to do, the test you're going to make, that is in itself the well-positioned part. Then next thing, any progress towards achieving this proposed endeavor. What have you done? Like maybe you don't have a business yet, but maybe you have all these other things. Evidence of grants that you have got, copies of contracts or agreements or licenses, evidence of achievements that you have done to build up this future development, evidence demonstrating that you have a leading or critical and indispensable role in this endeavor, right? Show that you are important. Next thing, the interest of potential customers, users, investors, or other relevant entities or individuals to show other people are vouching for you. USCIS loves that. So the first part is very much you have argued that this thing that you want to do is important to the United States. Are you able to do it? If you can prove you can do it, then you will have the USCIS's attention because you are actually able to get it done. That's the second prong. Make sure you prove that you can do it. Then the third part is just a balancing act. Other people have to go through the normal EB-2 Department of Labor process, wait in this long line. We don't need to do that because this thing is of that importance. And so please waive it, let them come ASAP. A lot of times, the challenging thing is just losing hope. Really, there's no boss forcing you to get the thing done. So are you going to sacrifice your weekends after weekends after weekends to write this essay that you don't know who's going to read and you feel like you're just grasping for straws? I've seen so many consultations and people who I feel like they could have qualified if they put in the work, but it didn't continue. Usually we always recommend clients when they do a case like this, hire a college grad, hire somebody that you're responsible, you're paying them a salary, because then you're not going to just pay them to do nothing. Then you will work with them side by side based on our checklist, based on our strategy. We put the case together, we file, and hopefully you win. It's a fantastic feeling when you win because you're deemed by the United States government. You are of national importance. How good is that? And then, if you're confident enough, file the EB-1A and you prove you are extraordinary. So, if you have any questions about NIW, EB-1A, O1, feel free to reach us. Take care. Bye-bye.